What's up, guys? It's Big J, and today, guess what I'm doing? Yep, you got that right. I'm hanging out in another motorhome, and this one is really cool. You're gonna wanna watch this video, and I hope that this gives you some really good ideas to think about, like, hey, when I'm gonna build out or buy a motorhome, what are the other things that I may wanna do to it? Because this motorhome has a ton of upgrades by WeldTec Designs, and the inside of this thing is so cool. I think what I'm enjoying the most right now is just hanging out underneath this awning. And although it may be small in stature, the whole motorhome, I mean, we're talking like 23 feet from bumper to bumper, maybe a little bit longer because some bumpers did get added to it, but it's like a 19-foot box. This thing is really cool, and the awning goes the full length of the motorhome, because even in some of these larger motorhomes, I've seen small awnings like this that I'm like, what were they thinking? At least I can hang out underneath this thing with some chairs. So before we head on the inside, I want to show you guys some of the cool upgrades that this particular motorhome had done to it, because you're going to notice there is a ton of clearance from the ground to the bottom of this coach, and the reason that is this has a 6-inch suspension package on it. So that means WeldTec Designs lifted this coach up 6 inches to be able to do what? Well, to get you where you want to go off grid. Not only that, it allowed for this larger tire under there. That thing is really cool. Some fender flares on the side of this to give it kind of a different, more aggressive look. I like the way that that looks as well. Check out this front bumper, very sleek and tight to the body. And look, it even has a winch in there. So if you're going to need to pull yourself out or maybe pull a friend out, you have that there to do it. So I walk around this thing and I'm like, man, this thing just looks awesome. A lot larger tire. And another thing is it's not a dually tire. It's actually like a van tire. So a completely different look. When you're looking at all of these things, I mean, this thing is just beast mode. You know, this is what I would say is an RV on steroids for sure. And now here's another thing is, yes, it's a little motorhome, but guys, why don't more motorhomes do this? Put the RV dump more in the front, because one of the biggest problems I see on a lot of these new coaches is the RV, the black and gray water dump, is located in the back of the coach at one of the lowest points, and I always see those drag or even break off, which is never a good thing. Same thing, really big tires in the back, giving it, you know, that really beefy look. And here's another thing that WeldTec Designs does is they build those awesome progressive springs to fit the weight of your motorhome and give it more lift. Now, as I come back here, this is cool. So a pass-through storage, although it is small, I would say one of the cool things about this pass-through storage is, you know, I guess if I was into skiing, I could fit my skis in here, maybe a large snowboard. I'm not really sure what else I'm gonna be able to fit into that thing, but at least it's there for that storage. Now, when I'm talking storage, this also got this really cool back bumper and a spare tire mount. Guys, one thing to consider when you're buying an RV, check it out. Does it have a spare tire? If it doesn't, you may want to think about adding a spare tire to your motorhome, you know, somewhere on it, whether it be on a back bumper. But yeah, most RVs just don't come with spares these days. They figure you're not smart enough to change them, and maybe you just don't want to. You're gonna call AAA. Additional storage, both of these are gonna swing out. This is really cool too. You know, 10 gallons of gas and then max tracks on there. For those of you that don't know, in softer sand, if you ever get stuck, you can stick those boards underneath your tires. Your rear tires help give you some traction and be able to get unstuck, hopefully. You know, you may also have to air down. But dude, really clean coach. Another thing that I like about this coach is there are no decals, all that solid white. I think it just looks cool. We should just call this motorhome is now named the Arctic Fox. We're heading inside. One thing I might want to add with this high of a kit would be a step just to be able to get into the coach. All right, so as we come inside, I think that all right guys, so I just did a Ford Transit a review video. And now when I look at that compared to this, I'm like, man, I kind of, oh, this has my windows. Look at that. How nice is that? See, squirrel. I see the window I like, and I can already feel that. I can feel the breeze coming in just by opening up that window. I'm gonna come back here. Let's see. We got curtains. Oh, look at this. Oh, so much airflow. Okay. So, let's be honest here for a minute. I did a walkthrough video of a Ford Transit that a customer built out. Extremely impressed with the build out. The way they built everything was just amazing. I really like it. However, there's no place in that Transit that I felt like it was open and airy. And like one person, two people, like max in that thing. And I'm like, like claustrophobic kicks in. And as we have two grown men sitting at this table with easily room for 3 more grown men to be sitting at this table. I mean, I could even say 2, no problem. You know, the biggest problem is our plates are going to be this big and we're going to be eating. And, you know, but just, I feel like there is so much room in here. And now here's the other thing. This table's going to fit into where our feet currently are. And the bed in here is going to be massive. Not to mention, I don't have to crawl into a space to get to it. I have a ton of space in here. I like the amount of space. I like the cabinets. And here's the thing is, even if you didn't want the open cabinets, it wouldn't be hard to put cabinet doors on those and completely close that off and get even more space out of it. I think that that's what I might do personally. And now here's the thing. I remove the cushions and there's even more space behind them. You also are going to have your seat belts. So if you are a safety monster and you want your kids buckled up, you can do that. Or maybe your wife is just scared of your driving and she wants her seatbelt on. You know, that's going to keep her safe. But this is just really nice. All of these cushions are going to be able to move. Lots of storage space. Now, you don't have a way to get to it underneath here. That's going to be the access that we saw underneath. But sometimes in these motorhomes, let's see, you do. This one is screwed down. In my motorhome, though, I unscrewed this and made this pop up and gained additional storage space. And I would be so curious to see if we took these screws out in here, if you could gain additional storage that way as well. Just, you know, something to always be thinking about. My Class C, I gained, you know, I put blankets, things of that nature in there. So that's really nice. So coming over to the kitchen, I like the use of all of these faucets, how they're doing that with the retractable. Makes it really nice to be able to get into pots and pans and clean. You know, the sink is great. This thing is nice. And again, guys, I can't tell you, I just love these windows. This is what I need to do on mine. 2-burner stove, which is definitely more than enough. Mine's a 3-burner, and I'm like, I'm never cooking 3 things on it. And they even, it's still a little bit of a rattler, but you can see with the rubber on the ends of there, definitely help it when it tucks down in there to keep that in place. Now, you're going to notice the one thing that it doesn't have is not going to have a large oven. Instead, you're going to have the drawers for storage. So depending on if you need an oven or not, you know, nice use of space, additional storage underneath the sink. And as we turn around, we're gonna have more like a wardrobe closet. And it is sweaty in here no matter what, so I may just have to hold my microphone so you can still hear me. But more drawers, definitely like that. And then we're gonna have our refrigerator freezer. Now that's gonna be another big thing when it comes to these. You know, I'm like, that's a good size fridge for a little motorhome. Some of these vans, like that's the whole thing. And then you still are going to have a large freezer up on the top, which is going to be really nice. And then here's one of the key things is what? A bathroom. So much like the Transit where I showed you, your toilet is in your shower. So you don't need toilet paper anymore. It's kind of like a bidet. Just kidding. You still do have toilet paper. It's right here. And if you don't want to shut the door completely, you still have a shower curtain. And if you're really tall, dang, I mean, that would be like, you could be like 7 feet tall and fit in this shower. I mean, that thing is monstrous. So one of the downfalls of having a bathroom like this is like you're not going to be able to have like your storage, toothpaste, things like, you know, toiletry stuff in there like you might get out of a little bit larger motorhome. But still, I mean, dude, that's a good sized bathroom. I'm digging that. And now here's the big thing that I'm just like, oh, this would, if one thing would be a deal breaker or a deal maker, okay, is like all of this for storage is amazing. Say it's just 2 people and I don't even want to sleep up here. Like the amount of storage that you have for gear, blankets, you know, your skateboards, your surfboards, your paddle boards, whatever it may be, like all of that stuff could definitely be stored up here. So if you don't have 4 people, definitely nice. You can see the other cushion is going to drop into here. It even has the curtain for privacy, but you can also, like in mine, I have a net that goes there to keep gear up on the front of it. So I guess I'm going to tell you, watch this transit video. I'm going to put a link to the transit video down below. I want you to compare the two and be like, which one would you rather have? And I know I'm just looking at like overall length of vehicle. And here's the other thing. I love how open this is. Like, I feel like I'm not in a cave. Again, guys, the amount of light that comes in here too is pretty amazing. A ton of natural light. I like that as well. More cabinets. Of course, you're going to have your generator, your control panel here for your black water, your fresh water, your water pump, everything on right here as well. So easy control to get to. They even added an additional little kick up for your, if you needed a little bit more counter space, your battery control, your awning, all down here as well. And you even have a couple additional lights above the sink, you know. So dude, I'm digging this thing. I guess it's time to go ahead and rate this motorhome and give you my 10 cents on what I think. All right, guys, so we're gonna go all over these and give you like what my 10 cents, what these things rate. So features, I think that this RV has pretty much all the features that I would really need. This is going to be great for a family of 2, like 2 adults. And even if you had 2 smaller children, I think that this is going to work out well. Features, I'm giving this an 8. I think overall comfort, I mean, this is comfortable by having this, back table couch. I mean, because we could literally get rid of the table and just have a giant couch back here. I think it would be great. Comfort, I'm going with an 8. Quality and longevity, like a lot of these Class C's are built a little bit on the cheaper side. This is a THOR coach. I think that I'm going to give that a 7. When it comes to drivability, this thing is going to be amazing. I mean, drivability, we're giving this thing a 10. Between the size of it and the new suspension upgrades that are done to it, I mean, I don't think that you could get any better than what this current coach has on it. Now, value, that's when I compare to like some of these transit vans to this, because say this coach is in the $80,000 price range, and let's just say you did, let's go $20,000 in upgrades. We're still at around $100K, and even if you wanted to get nuts and be like, okay, we're at $110,000 for this coach built out, you're still not going to be able to touch that in a custom build. So when it comes to the value of this little guy, I'm going to give it an 8 as well. I think the layout is solid. Of course, I mean, there's a couple things that I don't love, but layout is an 8. Here's where it's going to fail, though, on storage. There is literally no storage on the outside of this. It's only what's on the inside. So storage, I'm giving this like a 5. Sleeping, we're going to be able to fit 4 people in here. Sleeping is decent. We're going to go with like a 6. Versatility, this thing is going to be super versatile. I mean, you could park this in a parking spot. This could almost be your daily driver to work. So versatility, I'm giving it an 8. And when it comes to the windows, well, I love the windows. I'm sitting in here. The air is not on. It's probably high 80 degrees out, and I'm just loving it. So I love these windows. It's getting a 9 on the windows as well, especially all the just the natural light we're getting in it. So there you go. There's what I am going to rate overall this motorhome at. I love looking at these motorhomes and seeing all the possibilities of them, as well as maybe helping you find your next motorhome. If you guys have any questions, that's what the comment section is down below. And maybe there's a specific RV that you would like me to review. You know, leave it in the comments. I would love to find it and take a look at it. But yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. Definitely digging all the things that have been done to it. And, you know, it's a brand new coach, so what's not to love? That's all I got. I'm Big J, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next RV.